because it's one thing for us to be fired up about it and be able to produce it and be able to offer it, but at the end of the day, it's got to be something that serves our clients' needs, and they're able to make best use of it too, and feel like it's making a difference for them.
Welcome to SSR On Air. I'm Mike Rogers, your host for this monthly podcast brought to you by Smith Seckman Reed. Tune in as I interview leaders, colleagues, and clients about what is going on internally at SSR and in the larger engineering community. So today we're here with Andrew Johnson. Welcome to SSR On Air. Appreciate you taking some time to join us today. And Andrew, tell us a little bit, just to get started, tell us a little bit about what you do here at SSR.
Yeah, well, I'm a civil engineer, and I'm the operations manager for what we call the civil group within the infrastructure program. So I've got about 20 in that group, and while we're called civil, most of the work we do is around plants, pipes, pumps, more in the wastewater industry. We do some general civil, more of a grading and drainage kind of development work, but most of our clients are municipalities, utility districts, those sorts of things. So we like to work with water and then feel like we make a difference in doing things for our clients around that. Okay, good. So how long have you been with SSR?
I'll
have been here 21 years.
Right out of school?
This summer, yeah, first and only. So SSR life for so far, and it's where I've been and where I want to be for the next 20. So joined in 2001 and been here ever since.
So how did you come to find SSR? What was your path here?
Let's see. I had a connection through my sister-in-law with the HR director at the time when I was graduating school. And so through that connection, got to know about SSR and knew they were going to be at a career fair, and attended that career fair. Spent a lot of time at the booth talking to Dan Ryan at the time about what opportunities they had, those sorts of things. And as we see now, at that moment, they didn't really have any civil openings, and so it's kind of, I guess that's not going to happen. And kind of as I got closer to graduation, ended up getting a call from Kenny Deal about if I could come interview. And we were over on West End at the time and drove over for that interview and ended up spending about 2 hours with Kenny that day. And I played football in college. I always remember him saying, I like people that can juggle multiple balls, and in an engineering field, you're going to have a lot of different things you're juggling. And so I think being an athlete and that sort of thing, it was something that he thought was a good fit, and rest is history. Graduated college, got married, moved to Nashville, and came to work at SSR.
So let's talk a little bit about the civil group and kind of what you guys are doing, who your clients are maybe a little bit, and where do you think it's going?
Yeah, like I mentioned, most of our clients, most of our work, at least over the period that I've been here, has been prime work. Working directly for a municipality or a utility district or a provider of utility services, water, sewer, sometimes reuse water, which is wastewater effluent that's used for benefit through irrigation or other things. So we work primarily with cities and towns and utility districts that are around the Middle Tennessee area. Most of our work is within the boundaries of the state of Tennessee and then states that border Tennessee. We've got some great work going on right now with Bowling Green, Kentucky, doing work in Clarksville, doing work in Murfreesboro. This group's been doing work there since the start of SSR, so long-standing client there. And then local work here in Nashville too. So we like to form relationships with both towns big and small, and try to help meet their needs around water, all things water.
Yeah, yeah. So what's the path to winning some of those projects? I'm just, I look at how we win projects in our different markets and different sectors, and it's always a little bit different. There's always a little different flavor to how we get to that end game of actually having a client, long-term client, and winning a project. So what's that look like?
It's varied. Some the work we like the most are the you go meet on the project you're working on, and another project comes up in the discussions like, yeah, can you get me, can you guys do it? You got to have the talent to do it, but can you get me a proposal on that? And you kind of just negotiate from that soft touch point on something else and move forward. Those are the best ones. We are seeing a lot more, just with the growth of Nashville, a lot more competition, a lot of good firms moving to town, and there's a lot more projects that do go down the RFP path. So where the entity requests a proposal, basically a competition, and in those cases, we work with our marketing department and the people we have to put together an approach and put our best foot forward to serve those needs, and that's tougher. It takes time, but we have I hate to say we've got people that are specialized in different spots of the market, but we really have some talented people to lead the design efforts around the things that are needed, whether that be a water or wastewater plant or a pump station or a linear pipeline project. We really do have some great talent within the group to serve those needs across the variety of things that are in the market. Even though our team's not a massive conglomerate nationwide kind of group, but right. feel really good about the talent we have on board.
Yeah. So everybody hears about the infrastructure bill that's passed, and where do you see that affecting us, or do you see it affecting what you're doing? I know our transportation folks have talked about it a lot because a lot of the money's pouring into transportation and things,
sure.
But it's got to be pouring into other pieces of the business as well.
It is. It's a dynamic bill. It's going to do a lot of great things. Everyone's still digesting it. It's been kind of a long digestion period, but everyone's still kind of trying to figure it all out. How does it all work between the infrastructure bill and then the new ARPA money that's out there now? There's a lot. At the end of the day, there is a lot of funding pouring into the cities and towns and states and counties that we work for. Yeah. And that money is, it's dedicated to the areas we work in. So that in a nutshell is awesome. Now we've got to figure out, and the towns have to figure out, and we have to work with them collectively to figure it all out in what's the best way to dice it up and put it to use, and put it to use fast. Yeah.
Well, with the growth that's going on in Nashville, Middle Tennessee as a whole, I can see that there's going to be some opportunities there. When you talk about helping the clients figure it out, and it makes me think that some of what we do is that extension of their staff kind of approach and helping them think through their issues. Do we do a bit of that with our close clients?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we've seen back to kind of the bills and those sorts of things. We've had requests come out recently for a couple of places to just for that, just to come on board, help us work through this funding. We've got this money, it's in the bank. Let's do something great with it. Right. We don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but we want to get somebody on board to help us determine that. We know we want to do 2 or 3 projects, and let's move it forward. But even we've got some relationships where we serve as the city engineer. Tiffany Hurd in Memphis is the city engineer for the town of Dyersburg. And we've had those sorts of things. Right. So Brian Neely now is doing GIS work for a key client of ours in Harpeth Valley Utility District. So he's going out there a couple days a week to help them. So you said it right. We really do value when we were able to establish that relationship where it's not just call us to do your water plant or call us to see if you can fix this pump station. It's call us to see if we can, whatever your needs may be. And we'll try to. We will figure out a way to do it, even if it's something we've done 1,000 times or we've never done. And I think, again, having the resource pool we have not only in the group but within the program and across the company allows us to be. We don't say no much. I mean, if it's something that they need, we're going to figure out how to do it. And I think having that tight relationship, makes that comfortable.
So if you had to think about the things going forward, what's the next best thing, next biggest thing, next thing you guys are excited about?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I had a lunch with a former member of the group. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, and we were talking, and he kept talking about digital twins.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, that's cool. I'd seen a little bit about it, hadn't really dove into it, I guess. And it's funny, ever since that lunch date, I've got in every newsletter I've gotten from Water Online or whomever, there's been an article, and it's been in the headline of the article.
Yeah.
Digital twin, your water plant, your wastewater facility, your pump station, your system, in some way. And so I think it is about, again, it's kind of bringing that data to a real-time interface so that you can best manage the assets that you have. And so I really think from that perspective, we talked about the infrastructure bill, the ARPA funding. There's going to be a lot of money poured into both improving and creating new infrastructure in the water wastewater world.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, people want to protect those investments, and so they want to manage those assets as best they can, because there may never be this big surge of money again, and so you want to get the best bang for your buck, if you will, once you do spend the money and put in this infrastructure. So we'll see where that goes. I'm not up to speed as enough on it yet, but I don't think anybody is. And in fact, we got a new opportunity to update a water model for Murfreesboro just this week, and we're going to add they would like to add a software package on top of the model that somewhat offers more of a digital twin element to the system. I mean, the model in and of itself is a little bit of a digital twin. I mean, it gives you the data,
groundwork for it. Yeah.
But this will kind of allow another layer of interface to kind of have some more real-time ability to see what's going on in the system. And so that's cool. That's really cool to think about, and think about how that evolves not only in the pipeline systems, but also in the plant facilities as well.
Yeah. The digital twin in the built environment right now is definitely something people are pushing for, and you think about all the effort that's spent on modeling and developing those models and the technology behind that, and for the most part, those models are still just kind of pitched at the end of the day. They don't really live past that, and so I think a lot of the contractors are pushing that too, to take what they've done, take what the AE community has done, and take that digital twin to the next level and make it a manageable, not only all your equipment and data, surviving in there, things that we talked about in BIM 20 years ago. This is kind of where it's finally coming to pass, I think. So
yeah, I think so. And like you mentioned, just with the data, I think the ability to capture data now and then I think trust the data. Yeah. I think that's maybe where it's gonna really make a difference is the fact that people are trusting the data more maybe than they used to and that's why these digital twins and those things can be effective.
Yeah, I think the key that I'm seeing with a lot of folks is that you've got to be able to find something. The digital twins are enormous, and the files are enormous, and so if you can't have a shell that leads you to what you're trying to find,
right,
people get frustrated, and then they start pulling out the drawings, and looking at specs and cut sheets and things again, and instead of going through the digital twin. So it's going to be a transition, just like everything has been.
Yeah, and you're right, because it's one thing for us to be fired up about it and be able to produce it and be able to offer it, but at the end of the day, it's got to be something that
useful,
that serves our clients' needs, and they're able to make best use of it too, and feel like it's making a difference for them. So it'll take some time to bridge that gap and move that along, but it is something that I think is exciting, and just how we not only talking about producing digital twins, but how we produce the work that we do in general, from a design perspective, and all that sort of thing. I mean, I think there's always going to be a place for construction drawings and thick specification books, but I think that place may get a little smaller as we move along.
All right. Well, anything else that you want to say about what you're doing? Any other comments, thoughts popped into your mind as we've been rambling on for a while?
I think it's just, there's a lot of exciting things going on in our group. It's always a dynamic world we live in. Obviously, things are faster and faster and all that, but we've got a lot of exciting people. I mean, it's about the people that are in the group that really, make my days easier and better. I mean, we've really, I can't say it enough that even though we're not huge, from that perspective of a civil water team, we've got some really, really talented people in the group, and excited about seeing that move forward, over the next 20-year period that hopefully I get to watch them.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming in and having a talk.
Yeah.
It's good to catch up.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of SSR On Air. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. You can also connect with us on social media. Links to everything can be found in the show's notes. Take care, everyone. See you next time.